What's up, guys? We're back for another episode
Pew,
of the Misguided
pew,
Misfits
pew,
podcast.
pew.
As always, it's your girls, Pebs.
And Isis.
And if dumbest of the dumb could describe this week, we done had all of the craziness happening this week, and we're gonna start it off with a bang. So if you guys don't follow sports like ISIS, you probably haven't even heard this story. But basically, this dude, John Tay Porter, has been banned for life from the NBA because he was betting. And now let's just be clear, he wasn't banned because he was betting. Because I think they have like it's like a weird thing, like you can bet, but there's a certain way that you have to bet or whatever. And he was literally betting on the team that he played for. Like,
Against
dude,
them or for them?
yes, against them. And then he was telling his friends to bet that his team was gonna lose,
Oh, so he basically was like throwing the games in a sense, kind of.
basically. And also, this is a conspiracy that I stand by. The NFL, all that shit is rigged just the way that y'all say WWE is rigged. And this is a prime example of it. Like, think about the refs that's got their friends betting on games. You ever watched a baseball game or basketball game, football, and you be like, how the fuck the ref missed that call?
I be want to know, how, and I don't follow sports, so I don't exactly know how it works. But when people be talking about, oh, the ref was doing all these bad calls and that or this and that, and like nothing happens, and like I get they the refs, so they kind of like control what's happening. But if everybody is saying it's a bad call, it can't just be a.
So I know for baseball. Only reason why I know for baseball is because my father is a collegiate umpire, and so what happens is a lot of times after the game, you get a report card basically, and because they have like computers and shit like that that can call balls and strikes, but then that defeats the purpose of the game. So you'll get a card and it'll tell you how many calls you got right, like your percentage, and how many cards you got wrong. And eventually, if you keep doing bad, like you won't get games anymore, is what they say. Does that really happen? Because I know there was an umpire that had an issue where, and it wasn't like a game winning call, but he was basically getting heckled. This was a couple years ago, and he was basically getting heckled by the crowd, and he was the pitcher was being an asshole, or the batter, I can't remember who it was. Look it up, y'all can find it. It's on YouTube or whatever. But the I think it was the batter was being an asshole to him, and eventually he was just like, nah, you pissing me off, and he called like a strike. I mean, he called a ball a strike and got him out of there or whatever, and it ended the game. Mind you, they was losing. They was gonna lose regardless of what this dude. It wasn't like, oh, he made the call and now they lost the game. But basically, the dude was being an asshole, and he was like, "I'm gonna teach you a lesson." Was it wrong? Absolutely. But do I understand?
I must say something like
Absolutely.
that is understandable, but sometimes the stuff I be hearing, I be like, well, obviously you have a favorite.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of favorites, this ain't even really on our list. It kind of is, but it kind of not. You'd always know when America, and when I say America, I'm doing little quotation marks, gets behind somebody, because the amount of support that Caitlin Clark has been getting is crazy. Is she an amazing basketball player? Of course, she's great. Is she the best in the world? No. And like, I feel like it's so crazy to me how she has never won a national championship. You know who has won a national championship? Angel Reese, but y'all hate her. And let's just, I wish, and I'm kind of torn, because sometimes I say I wish that racist people would just be racist and let us know that really you don't like that person because they black. But sometimes I kind of enjoy, the anonymity of it, because I don't think I really want to know all the racist people in the world, but y'all be pushing her way too hard. Like, she got a Nike deal already, ain't played a game in the pros. And don't get me wrong, I'm not being no hater or whatever.
Well,
Y'all probably.
since I'm not bad. I don't watch sports, so I don't know. I've heard that she's good, but first of all, it's just interesting to me how all of a sudden women's basketball has, and I know like Andrew Reese and them had a good like season last year and stuff, like but all Angel Reese, Caitlin, whatever her name, all of them are good players, but they were great players before them. So it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
weird to me that
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden women's basketball has become this big thing. Which again, I'm not hating because they need to get their bag, get their coin, just like men's basketball does. And I understand like women's basketball don't create as much revenue or whatever. But I didn't realize that women's basketball has been out less time than we've been alive. Like it's only been
Yeah.
27 years.
Mm-hmm.
So like I get it, but also I hate when people just be like, "Well, they're not bringing in as much as men's." Of course they're not. They haven't been around as long. But let's
Yeah,
not
they
act like
literally
the
have
women's. Let's not.
half the teams. They play half the games.
But who? My thing is, whose decision is that? You see what I'm saying?
It's because people not watching it. Like
But
if
also
people,
again, I feel like that's by design. I feel like they just gave women's basketball because women's
the
rights. We
reason
want to be
too,
equal.
they have a shorter, like they basketball hoop isn't the same as they ball isn't the same as the men play or whatever, and it originally was just kind of boring. Like, do you want to watch people play? Like, I think of that music, the like that old school basketball music where they like throwing passing the ball to each person or whatever,
And I
and
get I get that, but also that was by design. That's not
yeah,
no the women just because women been playing with boys on girls and boys been playing basketball together since they was in high school and school and at the playground and stuff and all that. Again, I don't watch sports, so it don't really matter to me either way because I don't watch the men's, I don't watch the women's. None of it is really interesting to me anyway. So,
I think that
but
that's gonna change. I think that there's a new era in sports right now. I think that the women are making it better to play. And this is me and my dad were kind of having a conversation about this. And it's super unfortunate, but the women are more marketable now than in the past. And is it bogus and is it misogynist and all of that? Yes. But it is what it is. Like think about the average basketball player and now the way that the women look, and should they be judged by how they look? Absolutely not. But it's just the reality of the situation. So I'm hoping that, and it's going to take some years before we start seeing an increase
yeah,
in.
absolutely. It's just a shocking thing for me, somebody who don't watch sports to
Yeah,
keep up
yeah,
with
I
highlights and
understand
stuff.
it.
That Caitlyn, the number one draft pick, and I get it. They don't play as many games and da 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 this and that. She gonna have her deals and all that, which is gonna make up for it. But it's just a shocking thing for me to hear like 5 years, 300 some $1,000.
Yeah,
And
but
I,
think
but I
about.
get it. I
I
get
think
it.
if you think about the men play, they have 30 teams. The women have I think 12 or 16 teams. The men play 80 some odd games, not including the playoffs. The women play 40.
And I
The
get all
men
of that.
generated the men generated, was it 4 billion or some kind of something, and the women generated 500 million, and
And
I
I
think the
get
men did 40 billion, I think.
I get all that. Again, this is coming from somebody who don't know nothing about no sports. But just the outside looking in, when the NBA draft happened and you hear all these numbers and then they draft again, nobody I didn't don't follow it. It's all of a sudden become mainstream. So I get why her number is $300,000 for 3 years. But it's
Well,
doctors
she
out
could
here.
have got 5 million to play in the big three. Did I think that she was gonna take that deal? Hell no. But it would have been a lot more money if she did.
Yeah.
But then she would have had to play with men, which that's a whole different ball game. Like women aren't. physically, like, but we don't have to get into a whole anatomy lesson.
Why is that even a thing? Is it just like supposed to be a fun thing?
Yes, a summer league.
Oh,
It's kind of like and one. Remember that when they used to be doing tricks and
oh.
all type of shit like that.
I feel like if it's gonna truly be a ha ha he he thing, then maybe like if you out on at the park playing basketball type of deal. But obviously
Yeah, I don't
these are
think it's that.
professional. Obviously these are professional people, so it's not gonna be that.
Yeah,
But
but
oh
I wish her
dude, he
all the
didn't mess up
best.
his bag. I hope the best was worth it. I hope you put some money up, cause you finna be SOL.
Bro, he literally only made, so he made a couple $1 million when he was playing the professional basketball. Is making, I think he profited $22,000 from gambling.
And then he didn't even go big or go home with it.
I don't know though. I think that you forfeit your winnings that way too. Don't quote me on that, but I think that if you are cheating, that you forfeit your winnings. Kind of like the dude that supposedly streaked at the NFL at the Super Bowl, and he bet that somebody was gonna streak at the Super Bowl, and he did it. Like, you don't win because you the one did it. You knew you was gonna streak, so that wasn't a bet. That a gamble or whatever.
Mm.
But when you got that gambling addiction, maybe him and Bruno Mars can get together and
Bro,
have
some
a kumbaya.
videos that's been circling around of Bruno Mars performing in Vegas, I'll be like, man, I don't know if it's true or not, but you look like you working like a Hebrew slave to pay off some debts. He be up there sweating. I'm like, is he on drugs again? I've only seen these videos after this allegation of him being in debt, so my mind is already skewed. But I'm like, man, you really owe that 50 million, huh?
Girl. And I'm so biased because that song put some perm on your attitude.
And I
Cause you
think it
gotta
was that
relax.
song that
That is my
he
shit.
was just sweating. I said, Lord, Bruno, we don't talk about Bruno.
Oh my god, that was such a good movie.
It was. Oh,
But
we should do a Disney themed episode one day.
we can do and I know you guys are so tired of hearing about our favorite podcast, but we're people too. Between Charlemagne and Kev on stage and Angel, like, we get so much inspo from them, and then you got Tony Baker and all these other amazing
Bro, the
people.
Ball Brothers podcast
Bruh,
with
I love their
best
podcast.
thing ever.
And then when they say, you watching this and listen to this at work, and I'd be like, me with my headphones, like, don't put my business out there like that.
I wish I
I,
didn't work in a store because I definitely would be.
yeah, I think that for me not having to like communicate with customers, it kind of gives me a little bit more fun. Like, I can listen to music and stuff like that, and be way more productive than the average person or whatever. So I love listening to them. I love listening to them rank different things. Like, they just recently did a ranking on I think it was like the, what some people call the Wayans brothers and all that. Like, I just live for that. But back to the topic at hand. What When I think about like the, like, white women tears and stuff, Taylor Swift comes to mind, and that's what really made me think about Caitlin Clark, because I feel like her and Taylor Swift are kind of like the same, but on different spectrums.
Well,
And
at least Caitlin Clark came out and paid homage to the
yeah,
people
yeah,
before her. And then
yeah,
she's a
yeah.
little bit more humble off the court when it comes to her
Yeah, I think she's
stuff.
more authentic too. I think she's
Yeah.
authentically herself. I really believe that Taylor Swift is pretending to be somebody.
Taylor Swift is over 30. Ain't she our age? This
Yes.
little teeny bopper
And she give you
girl
like, I'm
next
stuck in high
door.
school.
Yes, she needs to let that go.
But I literally seen a quote from one of her songs today. And I don't know how old the song is because I haven't listened to a Taylor Swift album since Red. And that was only because in college I was number 22. and she had that song 22, and it was literally my theme song for the entire year. But I digress. One of the songs was basically called, I think it's called I Hate It Here or something like that, where she's talking about how her and her friends used to play a game where where they wish, like, what, if you could go back to any decade, which would it be? And she was like, I would want to go back to the 1830s, but without all the racism. Like,
But
when you was writing that song, what was
when
your
you
thought
when
process?
you wrote it, when you sang it, the people in the room, nobody was like. I'm pretty sure she has a bunch of people that thinks like her and a bunch of yes people, so nobody probably
Yeah.
said anything.
And she was like, she kind of made it be like, oh, uh we think about, like, she tried to kind of clean it up, but like, why you want to go back to the 1830s, so let's just keep the buck.
Women
And
didn't
it's
even have rights in the 1830s, so I'm confused. For her women empowerment, the 1830s makes no sense for her aesthetic and her what she goes for. Women power, girl power.
Bruh, I want to fight whoever. And I get it's kind of like a double edged sword, because like women didn't have no, like, women didn't have to go to work, but then also your husband was beating on you and stuff. So it's kind of like,
Every
do
time
I
I come
really want to
across one of
be?
them videos and they be like, whoever was the person, the woman that stood up for our right to work, I want to fight them. I be like, yes.
But then, like, it's kind of crazy too, though, because then you'll have a husband that's beating on you, and then you have
I would take
uh
my chances. No, I wouldn't.
that's terrible.
2024 me would not take my chances. But if I knew now, if I lived back then and I knew what was to come now, I might have just took my
Because
chance.
working is so ghetto.
Very ghetto.
But I don't know. I'm just never been like, oh my god, I'm just such a Taylor Swift fan. That's just never.
Because the thing about it is, like, don't get me wrong, Taylor Swift had some bops that black people was bopping to when she first came out. And we was all on her side when that Kanye thing happened. Okay.
I don't know. Was I on her side?
What he did was jacked up. It
It
was really
was,
weird.
yeah.
That was the start of the downfall of Kanye crazy. Because people want to act like he got crazy when he was with Kim Kardashian. But when he got himself up on that stage, he was with Amber Rose. And they was at the red carpet drinking a bottle of, what was it? Hennessy, Douce, some type of liquor.
Were they?
Yes. So everybody please stop
Um,
acting like he just all of a sudden got crazy when he got with Kim Kardashian.
mm,
But anyway,
I did not realize that.
we
That was
was on her side a little bit when that happened because it was kind of like, was we all like Beyonce did had the greatest album or whatever it was all time? Yes, but also, sir, sit down. You are not Beyonce. Beyonce do not need defending.
yeah, yeah. I can
But
see that.
but it's kind of like, but that's when she was early 20s, teenage, young. Now you 30 some years old. You
Yeah,
still
it's
saying
like she's
the
stuck in a
same
portal.
thing. Like, girl. And then I think I don't think she coming out with new albums, like with new stuff on there. It might be like a couple new songs, maybe. I don't know. I haven't listened. But I think she just re-recording her old album so she could get the money off of it.
I think one of them was her re-record. I don't know. Again, I don't listen to Taylor Swift like that. Like, I just feel like it's like this narrative of like poor me. And so I was reading this article about how, like, one of her songs is about Kim Kardashian. And like, let's keep it a buck. Kardashian, with all that shit that was happening, whatever. Number one, I'm gonna defend my man, right or wrong. And in
Oh, when
theory,
he said something about Taylor Swift in that song.
yeah. And do they had recordings
I
of,
was say,
like,
but
she
they
was
had a recording of her being like, "Yeah, it's cool. You listen to the so you didn't stuck your own foot in your mouth. So what is the issue?
but people forget that. They act like she wasn't in on it. They sent her the song to listen to before it came out, and she was cool. But then when she gonna weaponize her people every time, and be like, oh well, now that I think about it, maybe I was offended. Like, you don't get to come back later and be
No,
like,
Mm-mm.
That's the thing about her that I don't care for. And then like Kim Kardashian ain't done nothing to you since. Like she
First of
living her
all, her
own
and
life, and you
Kanye
still
been,
beefing with her.
bro, her
She
and
ain't even with
Kanye been
him,
divorced for how long now? She didn't have
bruh.
3 different men since she,
Damn, has she had three?
I don't know.
I think it's two because she was with Pete, and then now she with Odell. We gonna put
Uh,
some respect on Miss Kim.
I mean, I ain't mad at her. Do your thing,
And one thing she gonna do is date a fine ass man. Okay,
bro.
she got good taste. I'm gonna give her that.
But yeah, I'm gonna need Taylor Swift to act like a 30-something-year-old woman. Um, because she could have been Adele easily. Adele had her 19, then 21, then her
Yeah, she's
30.
evolving as a person. You know, she not
Yeah,
trying to convince you of
she
something
had been
that's,
through a divorce and had a baby.
bruh.
People talked
She
about her bad when she lost that weight, and she was just like, "Well, I don't know what to tell
and
y'all."
even vocally, like the fact that they talking about she's the next Adele, like girl, vocally she got the do 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 do. Like that's the vibe that Taylor Swift give me vocally. Is she an amazing songwriter? Sure. But like, let's keep it a buck. She's not the best thing since sliced bread, okay?
And we're not saying this because she's a white woman. Adele can sing down
First off, I
black
love
women as
Adele.
well. Now,
Adele is
Adele
in
can
my
sing.
top. Adele and Amy Winehouse
Adele
and
had
Whitney
black
Houston,
black men singing their hearts out to what's that song,
Rolling in the Deep,
bro,
bruh.
bro.
Adele is literally probably my second favorite vocalist. No, I'm gonna say Adele's my third favorite vocalist because Whitney Houston is number one for me. Amy Winehouse is number two, and I'm still won't forgive y'all for how y'all bully her, and now she dead, and I'm very irritated with y'all about that. And then but see now they be like, oh, I hate when people talk about in retrospect. They're like, oh my god, we should have got her some help. She literally told y'all niggas, hey, I have a drug problem, and y'all fucking laughed at her ass or whatever. But now y'all want to pretend like y'all really was down for her. Like I will never forgive y'all for that shit. Like I'm real irritated about that. Like I left school early. I skipped school when I found out she had died. I can say it now because I'm an adult, but I definitely skipped school when they had announced that she died. And then my mama called me when Whitney died. My mother called me and was like, "Are you good?" Because I was not good. Okay, Whitney had me like it's a conspiracy. They didn't kill my girl. Like
It was
I
a lot
had
that
to.
happened that year. Didn't was she? But she was at the Michael Jackson rate. Was it like the year?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't remember if it was.
It's a
No,
lot
it
that
wasn't
happened
that
our senior
close.
year.
No, they didn't die that close together.
Uh,
But didn't Brittany Murphy die that year though?
they
They all kind
her
of
and
died suspiciously.
her and Michael Jackson died on the same day, and so she got pushed out the way because
Who? Brittany Murphy?
what? It's a white woman that died the same day that Michael Jackson died.
No, that was old girl from Parent Trap. What's her name?
Okay, so who's Brittany Murphy?
Brittany Murphy is the girl from Clueless and 8 Mile. The
Um, yeah, I don't
she
know.
was yeah, but I think the one who you talking about is the one from Parent Trap that died in that ski accident.
Oh wait, no, I'm talking about the lady from Greece. I think the main character, that lady, I think died that.
Nah, she just died like, not too long ago.
It was somebody famous.
That's the lady from. Hold on, we finna look it up, y'all. I'm telling you, it's the girl from Parent Trap that died. Her name is.
I feel
Hold
like it was
on.
somebody really big and famous more than
She
Brittany
big and
Murphy.
famous.
No, I'm
Watch.
saying
Hold
I know she is, but I feel like it was somebody like bigger.
on. No, it's her. You just don't. When you hear her name, you gonna be like, oh, okay. I didn't realize that was the same person. Hold on. What is that girl? That lady name? Hold on. I'm finna tell y'all real quick. Like, what is her name?
Dang.
Shit. Maybe she's not in Parent Trap. Hold on. I thought the lady was in Parent Trap. Let me see. Yeah, I cannot think of this lady name. Maybe it's not her. Maybe why do
Why
I
you
think
just
that
don't
this
put person that died same day as Michael Jackson?
Mama is in there having the time of her life.
Bro, I'm so sorry, y'all. Look, see, he's like, just tell her. I told her. She does not care.
She want to be a part of the Misguided Misfits
So if
podcast, and
y'all
that's
hear her in the
perfectly fine.
background, just ignore her. Hopefully she don't say nothing crazy.
Let me see. What's the lady name? Farrah Fawcett.
See? Talk about some damn Brittany Murphy. I knew it was somebody.
No, I knew it wasn't Brittany Murphy. Brittany Murphy died around the same time as Whitney Houston, not as Michael Jackson. They was like a decade apart. Let me see what Farrah Fawcett was in. Return. If she was in Parent Trap, I want an apology. Hold on.
I didn't say she wasn't in
She
that
definitely
movie.
wasn't
You
in.
said
She definitely wasn't in Parent Trap. That's
but
my
you
beef.
wasn't saying no Farrah Fawcett. You was saying Brittany Murphy.
No, Brittany Murphy and Whitney Houston died around the same time. Not
But
you
I
thinking Michael
said
Jackson and Whitney
Michael
Houston died
Jack.
around the
No,
same
no, no,
time.
no. Because I said Michael Jackson. And you said something about Brittany Murphy.
No, because Brittany Murphy died around the same time as Whitney Houston. Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston did not die anywhere near each other. Michael Jackson died in 2009,
Because they put him in our year.
and Whitney Houston died. Let's see when she died. Hold on. She died in 2012. Thank you very
Oh
much.
my God! You act like it was such a big. That
That's a long.
it
And
was a
celebrity
decade.
deaths.
It was
Do
a
you?
decade apart.
In celebrity deaths, that's a decade. Okay, they be dropping like firecrackers. But let's see when Brittany Murphy died, because I might be wrong. Uh, Viv used to say that I would kill people off all the time, so maybe I kill her off sooner than I thought. Let me see
Ketora
when she
is
died.
a. If y'all didn't know,
Oh shit! So hold on, Brittany Murphy did die the same year as Michael Jackson. So technically, Uno versus Uno out because I was right.
no, no, you said she died around the time of Whitney Houston.
So I was wrong, but I end up being right. See how it
No,
works?
what? No. Anyway,
Yes,
if
I
y'all,
was wrong,
this
and it
is
ended
going
up being right.
into a tangent. This has been our best podcast episodes lately of us tangenting. But if y'all haven't realized, Ketora is an elaborate storyteller, and I just be letting her run because I just be like, that's not how that happened, but
Bruh,
for the
low key
plot,
though,
for the
for the
plot.
record, I was so wrong that I ended up being right. Is That's basically how it was.
That's no. In this situation, if you wrong, you wrong.
No, you know what I was right about? Ashanti being pregnant.
Girl, everybody was right about that.
No, we was right about that shit from the jump. If you go back, I can't remember what episode it was, but we definitely told y'all that that lady was
Well,
pregnant.
first of all, Nelly told us that they was
Yeah, he definitely did.
he
He
rubbing on
definitely
the
did. But I
stomach.
knew before he said it. But I'm happy for her because especially as a woman who has had issues with fertility and all that shit. I think it's amazing when somebody, no matter what the age is, especially with her, she got enough money that if something happened to her child to be cool or whatever. Because I do think it's a certain cutoff age that you got to be like, all right, wrap this shit up so you don't end up making your kid be an orphan. But I'm happy for her, and I'm happy for Nelly as well. But I want to tell people on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Can y'all please make sure that y'all reading the articles before y'all be commenting? Because I seen an article about Joyner Lucas, and I freaking love him. First off, like one of my favorite rappers. And apparently, I didn't know this, but him and Ashanti dated for 2 years. The 2 years before her and Nelly got back together. And basically, someone asked him,
Oh,
like,
that's
"Hey,
a
how do
kind
you
light skin.
feel?" Yes, and they asked him like, "How do you feel about Nelly and Ashanti or whatever, giving y'all history?" He didn't volunteer this information. He was on an interview and somebody asked him. I think it's old dude who I can't stand. Jason, was that his
Oh,
name?
Jason Lee. I was about to say
Yeah.
academic.
Oh, I can't stand academic, but this Jason Lee asked him a question, and again, I understand you're a reporter, you got to get the mess or whatever, but I just don't like him. I feel like he messy. But anyway, um, he asked him like, how did he feel? He said, she's a wonderful person. He said, I still have mad love for her. She always wanted to be a mother, and I think that this is perfect for her or whatever. I wish them the best. That's all he said. he said that, and then he asked him like why they broke up, and he basically said like she wanted to be a mother, she wanted to do all these things, and I wasn't willing to give that to her, so we broke up. And that's a very valid reason to break up with somebody. Like, if you
Yeah,
know
because I'm
that you
pretty sure
can't
they
give
age
them that
difference
person what
is.
they need. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
because
she's
people
8 years
forget.
older
I
than
think
him or
people are
something. It
forgetting
might not even
that.
be that much.
I would say, yeah, Ashanti is in her 40s, and I think because she looks so
And
good that
she's
people
43.
forget like she is. She ain't old, but she old. And for somebody who still want to have a family and
And
stuff,
especially when
like
it comes to
after
women,
35, after 35, your clock. First of all, at 30, your clock is
it's
ticking.
ticking.
Like this isn't like a. This isn't like a. This is a. Like most of the time when women go to, they get tested and stuff for that type of stuff. We've all heard that once you hit 30, like your eggs are like almost non-existent by the time you 30. Your egg supply has decreased
Yeah, I think it's half
a
the
lot.
amount of eggs that you have.
And then once you get to 35, you are starting to like be, and I don't know if these facts have changed, but like once you start hitting 35, that's when you start becoming a higher risk. Like you kind of considered a geriatric pregnancy, and like more things can go wrong. So like her at 40 something, like she taking a lot of chances, and yes, she got money, but Mother Nature is Mother Nature, and it's gonna do what it want to do, regardless of how much money you have. So, and I think
That's
also like people
true.
just like, I think people really don't like the fact that she doubled back with Nelly, and he the one that's gotten her pregnant, and they starting his life. But it's kind of like neither one of them has said that they broke up on some like he cheated or somebody did each other wrong type of.
No, I
At
think
least
he
I don't
definitely
remember
cheated.
hearing that type of thing. Well, again,
Yeah, I think he
that's her
definitely
business.
cheated
If
on
that's what
her.
she
But it was kind of one of those things too. They was young and everything
if that's
else,
what she want to be her
And if she
baby
want to go
daddy,
back with him,
if that's what she want to be her baby
yeah, it kind
daddy,
of
then
reminds me
that's her
of
business.
it kind of reminds me of like Chloe. Like, you might just want your baby to come from, and sometimes too, we all have done stupid
Nah,
shit. And when you're young and you
I
what,
can't
you
get
saying you ain't
behind
done no
Chloe.
stupid shit? I just
No. I'm not saying that I
I
haven't.
understand her
I
wanting to
still
have
do,
her
but
kids having the same daddy.
I can understand that. But also, you don't have to keep having kids.
Well,
I know that
I
sounds
guess
horrible.
I understand.
I know. I understand you have these ideas of a big family and stuff like this, but there's no way. And it's not like she found out he played in her face and the baby already happened. He already was playing in her face continuously when she decided to have that son. So it's kind of like you already. I guess if you already attached to the man, why not go ahead? Just do this. Might as well, I guess. But I wonder
Yeah,
if when
yeah,
she
and I
got her
get
eggs
genetically
frozen,
speaking wanting to have.
but I wonder if when she got her eggs frozen, did they inseminate it with his sperm? And that's kind of like
Yeah, they was already
it's
his.
nothing you
Yeah,
can do at
yeah,
that point.
that's how that worked. But
Well,
she
you
could
could
just
just freeze
decide
your
not to use
eggs
them if she
without
didn't want to.
nothing. Yeah.
But I think they was already made. But I did not know, and it's sad. The government talking about getting rid of TikTok or whatever. I get more news from TikTok than I do the actual news. Like, I realize how much misinformation be on like Fox News and all this stuff. Like, even talking to my in-laws, which I try not to talk about politics with them, but I'm listening to them. I'm like, man, they really just be putting anything on Fox News, and folks just will go with it. But, ooh, Jesus, I'm finna start a fire in my office. I don't know what that was that fell, but anyway. I was watching the news, and they were talking about how it's illegal to get IVF in Alabama now. And I'm just like, Kay Ivy, why do you hate us so much? Like, Kay Ivy hates women. Like, you got to. You didn't got rid of abortions. Now women, so you can't have an abortion and get rid of the baby. Now I can't even have a baby. Like, just no more kids in
Pay, first of
Alabama.
all, pay to have the baby. It's not even you like you're paying to have a baby and you can't even do that.
Nope. I don't know what is going on with Kay. Okay. But basically, though, it sucks to be a woman in 2024. Like, and it's so crazy. Like, I don't plan on getting IVF or an abortion anytime soon, but, or at all, let me be clear.
I was about to say
Um,
anytime soon.
yeah, no, not at all.
Monthly,
I got,
your eggs are getting aborted monthly already at this point.
honestly, though, I don't know, because, I don't have, what they call a cycle. So who knows?
But you have birth control.
I
It's
definitely, and
it's
my
not 100% effective, but
At my 6 week appointment, I said, put that IUD up in there. She said, are you sure you might want to, do you want to?
bro,
No.
seeing how I don't have children, they won't even. I would have to I mean, it's doctors that will. I would have to find one, but they be like, nah.
Yeah, I know some people that got IUDs that don't have kids, so I think you just got to find the right person. But they say that it's painful when you haven't had a child for them to
I
put it
can
in.
see that because when I got my last pap smear, I don't know what they did, that person did, that doctor did, but I was like, it's like I was cramping.
I must have a great pain tolerance because we was having a conversation, and I was like, so when you going to put the IUD in? Because I heard it
But
was,
you did just have a baby. A baby just came out your cooter. So your
yeah,
stuff down
naturally.
there is different.
That's true. But she said it's still, she said she had people faint before, all type of shit. I was like, I feel like y'all being dramatic. Because I was scared to get one because listening to social media, they was like
It's
how
probably like the
painful it was.
build up. Also, if you've never experienced that type of spasming of your uterus like that, all of a sudden, it is
Yeah, they
kind
said it feel like it's supposed to feel like a contraction. I didn't feel anything, but again, I must have a high pain tolerance because like after I kind of was in, I think that if I know that I'm gonna be experiencing something, so like whether that's tattoos or piercings or whatever. Like I've had, like they say, your nipple piercings is like some of the most painful. It didn't really hurt for me. I will say that industrial piercing was the worst piercing I have ever gotten. Like to this day, I think it's closed up now because I'm a
I was
mother
gonna
and I
say you
don't.
don't even have the thing in your ear no more.
Nope, I took my nipple rings out when I got pregnant with Paisley, and then I also took my industrial out. I
So you
still
hear that,
have.
Misfits? When you become a mom, you got to be, you have to become boring.
And I still got my tragus, and then I still got my I guess this is called a conch. I still have that one inside of my ear, but I just that wasn't the vibe that I was trying to give off. And I'm not saying that because you're a mom you can't have piercings or whatever, but for me that just wasn't the vibe. Have I
So
gone
y'all,
soft?
again, y'all hear
I
that?
guess.
Okay, y'all hear that?
I
Once you
don't know.
become a mom, you have
Honestly,
to
I
make
feel like
decisions
I'm a
that make you boring.
no. I'm still fun. I still get down. But no, I honestly feel like I became another person, and not in a bad way. So like if we were friends and we don't talk anymore or anything like that, like it's no beef. I'm on a different wavelength, and I'm actually loving the person, the woman, the mother, the wife, all of that I'm becoming. So if you can't get with it, you know what to do it. But speaking of
Yeah,
having fun and
sure
getting
is.
jiggy or whatever, but yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like growth is important, and it ain't I still have fun and all that jazz, but like drinking and all that stuff, like I remember when I could like
Boring.
whatever. I remember when I can put it back. When I could drink a bottle, 2 bottles of wine, I could take shots. I don't even none of that even interests me anymore. Like
Bro, if I wasn't like a boring, if I wasn't an adjustable friend, like, I guess it's weird for me to say. I don't know. I don't want to go into that because I don't. It's kind of like a not my place type of thing, but it is my reality with me having friends who are married and have children and stuff like that. I can see some people are just absolutely not understanding, and it's kind of like, well, when you grow up, these things happen. Like, you can't be out partying and stuff all the time. But also, it is a transition for the
Yeah,
people in
yeah.
your life. When you go from y'all friendship being one type of way to now it has to change. Um, but if I'm an adaptable person and I'm a kind of boring anyway, so the changes of my friends becoming wives and mothers, and I don't really be in y'all business like that no way anyway. So unless y'all tell me, I don't come out and just be asking y'all business. I don't be like, so girl, what's happening in your relationship today? No, I do not, and I don't know why she looking at me like that because I absolutely do not.
But honestly, like, and I get the idea of, especially because I noticed it happening with my friendships when I first got married or whatever. Like, you see people kind of taking a step back because, and I don't think they mean any harm. I think that people assume that once you get married that you can't do shit no more. And are there some people that happens to? Yeah, but I think that if
I
you
think.
really are, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
If you really somebody's friend, it's okay to transition and to change. It's okay for your friendships to change. You shouldn't expect to have the same friendship for 20 some years. Like, the shit that me and Isis would do or talk about in high school was not the shit that in college that we would talk about and do. And it's not the shit that now as 30-year-olds that we do. You know what I mean? And honestly, if I was never like, I went to the club, we had that kind of moment or whatever, but I only did just so I could say that I did it. It wasn't because I'm like, yeah, I just really really want to party. I never really liked the feeling of being drunk, any of that stuff. So, but I think it's okay for your friendship to evolve. And it's also okay for you to make a decision that the evolution of your friend as a person is not something that aligns with who you are as a person right now. And for you guys to decide to kind of move on. And every time you stop being friends with somebody, doesn't mean that you wish them ill or that it was some kind of negative thing regarding that. So, like I said again, like, I've had a lot of friends that didn't make it to this portion of me. And that's okay. And I wish them well. I hope they wish me and my family well. If they don't, that's something that they have to, work on within their own self. But I'm in a good place and I'm happy with the people who have decided to take this journey with me during this next phase, because I can't be getting DUIs. I think of all the times, and I apologize to my mother for this, and I'm grateful to God that I made it. But like, drinking, and you think about all the times you went to the club and you didn't want to leave your car there, so you just said, I gotta get home." I think about that all the time, and I'm just grateful to God that nothing bad happened. Like, remember when we went to that phone party and everybody wanted to stay at the party
I
and we
didn't
wanted
go
to
with you.
leave?
I
Yes, you
didn't go with you to
did.
that. No, I did not.
Yes,
I've
you
never been to a
did.
phone party. I don't think. When was
Yes,
this?
you did. It was the
Where was we
Halloween.
at?
It was a Halloween, and we was at that frat house, and they had the two houses together with the black tape. And the girl who
That was
we
a
came
phone
with, who was
party.
also your
I don't think
roommate.
that was a phone.
Yes, they had the foam and stuff in the part. ISIS, they had the foam in the party. And this was before either one of us had our license, and I had to call my sister's best friend to come pick us up.
I remember that. I don't remember it being
Yeah,
phone.
it was a phone party. I don't know what the hell you was doing, where you was at, but it was a phone
First,
party.
because first of all, it was some white people stuff, and you have to be vigilant. I'm so sorry to white people, but
Yeah, yeah,
you are
cause
black and
they
you go
party
to a
hard.
PW. When you are black and you go to a PWI, as a black person, you have to be vigilant about certain things.
Yes,
In
you definitely
general,
do.
in general you do, but especially
And friends, women, when we go to a party with y'all and we tell y'all we ready to go, and you talking about, no, I want to stay. And if you get murdered, that's on you. Okay? Because we had multiple times when me and Isis would go to a party and maybe we just boring and we want to get the fuck up out of there. But when it start getting wild and crazy, I'm ready to go. Like when you start hearing woohoo, nuh-uh. You got to get up out of there. Okay?
that
Because
and that
that's
goes
when.
for black, white. I ain't never been to no other racist parties, but
Yeah, me neither. But no, we done been to a Spanish party here and there. But for real, we had incidents where ISIS did not have a license. Neither one of us had a license, and we was only a couple miles from campus. And she said, "Look, we finna figure it." We told her our drunk friend, we put her in the back of the car, and we figured out how to get back to campus. And ISIS did not kill us. And I think back
bruh,
on that, that could have went so
it
bad.
could have. I was all out the lines.
We weren't drunk. Our friend was really drunk. We had alcohol, but we weren't like plastered or anything. But we just had to get home, and neither one of us had a license. And I know what you're thinking. You're in college, you don't have a license. We're both from Chicago, a
Chicago.
place where you can just get on the bus or the train or whatever, and you didn't have a need to have a license. I
We
know
did have
people
to. We did
now,
have to do driving school and stuff our sophomore year, but
but not with the car though.
I did. I
Oh,
did
I
that.
didn't do it with the car because you had to go to the. Our school didn't have a car, so you had to go and do the classes in the afternoon at another school, and I didn't
Yeah, I did
live.
mine on Saturdays, and what messed me up was because I moved out of state. So
See, I lived too far away from the other school that had the car that you could do, and I wasn't finna do that. So I said no.
I ended
So
up
I
getting
just
my license
waited.
at 20.
I got mine at 19. So it is what it is. But honestly, this is a good transition to the whole Glorilla situation. Do I know her blood alcohol level? No. But I watched the entire body cam footage of her being arrested, and she didn't give me drunk vibes. And she apparently allegedly, and is it allegedly if we saw it on video? Who knows? But she failed the field sobriety part, which is basically where they tell you to walk straight and blah blah. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I would fail that. I cannot say to this day. I've been practicing the field sobriety test just to see for no reason, just to see if I could do it. And this is sober. Not once have I been able to do it. I can't say my alphabet backwards. I
Bro,
literally sprained my
if I'm
ankle
too
just
sleepy,
standing the other day.
I would like to let y'all
And
know
she
she
was
talked
very
about me.
articulate.
She talked about me a few years ago when I messed up my ankle during the winter time and I stepped outside and I stepped wrong and twisted my ankle really bad. I think I might have broke it actually, but I just kept trucking. And she talked about me bad. And she didn't mess up her ankle twice within the last 3 months.
Bruh, my ankle, I'm literally
Just putting that out
standing
there.
and my ankle just gave out. It literally just gave out and it's so swollen right now. Like I look like I have a cankle instead of an ankle and a
And
calf
I bet you
muscle.
still ain't iced.
And have I gone to the doctor? Absolutely, I have
Has she
not.
even
I'm not
iced
gonna lie
it?
to you. Nope,
Has she even iced it? That's the least you could
I
do for
have
yourself.
not.
Ace
I'm not even
bandage,
gonna lie
wrap
to
it, or
you.
something.
And I have all of that at my house? I surely do. Because my husband is a klutz. And I can't even blame him this time. I literally
Oh,
it just
we can't,
collapsed from under
we
me.
can't call him a klutz now.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not even gonna argue with you because I definitely like my ankle hurts me, and I'm just sitting here in a chair. I might ice it before bed. We'll see. But again, I feel
She
like
not.
that police officer was on some BS. Yeah, whatever. I can't wait to rub it in her face later. But I think that police officer was on some BS with Glorilla. And then she was like, do you want to take a breathalyzer?" And she was like, "Well, am I gonna go to jail if I pass the breathalyzer?" She was like, "Well, you going to jail either way." So why the fuck, like, how that work? If I'm legally not drunk and I fail the field sobriety test, but I blow under the legal limit, You should just write me a ticket for like erratic driving. Like I shouldn't go to jail for that. But Glorilla said I'm not blowing in that breathalyzer if I'm gonna go to jail either way, and I'm with her on that. So, and she was that's why she was cheesing in her her mug shot because she said I know I'm gonna be up out of here. She gave her brother her jewelry and she got on up out of there. But I feel like these police officers be having way too much time and power on their hands because what's the
Yeah, you
purpose
see
of
a young black famous girl doing, she might have been speeding probably. Who don't speed? When I'm down south, it's 80 or above. No, actually, not that. It's 70 or above, okay? I got to get to where I'm getting to, okay? You got to drive damn near 10 miles to get almost anywhere when I have to visit my friends because they live out in the boonies damn near. You drive in 30 minutes. I don't have time to be trying to go 45 and 50 the whole time. I'm never going to get there, okay?
yeah, and it was dark outside, so ain't no telling. But at the end of the day gonna end.
They probably just smelled some alcohol or something in the car and was like,
And they probably was rowdy and listening to music loud. You know how we do.
because I definitely, late at night when you be trying to get to where you going and you sleepy, windows
Yeah,
down,
girl, I didn't been
music
there.
blasting.
I
you
didn't
be
been
like,
there.
let me stop at the gas station, give me some snacks or something, help me out,
Especially that drive from Alabama to Chicago. Like there was plenty of times I probably should have pulled over.
bro.
And don't be like me.
The last time I drove to Chicago, I think I stopped every 2 hours,
Oh, hell no, we couldn't
or
ride together,
or when I was getting to like half a tank,
bruh. I'm gonna tell
go get
y'all one
gas,
thing, and this might sound terrible, but if I could be like old girl, remember that astronaut who found out her man was cheating on her, and she wore that
bro.
diaper and drove cross country?
bro. But the only
I
thing is that when you drive that, cause you start to get into these hillbilly towns, and so at some
um
point you do have to like not stop, like you have to
no,
keep.
I will not lie. One time I was on my way to Georgia, and I live in the boonies, and I had a half a tank on my way leaving the house, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and I'll just stop and get gas or whatever. Literally, I drove a half a tank in my car. I did not pass one gas station the entire time until I was on empty. Then it was a gas station, one of those old school gas stations where they come out and pump your gas for you still, and they didn't have a card reader, and I didn't know they didn't have tap, and I didn't have money on my only physical card I had was my Cash App card. There was no service, and I'm trying to get enough service to transfer some money from my account to my Cash App card. I thought I was gonna be murdered. And ever since then, I do
Bro,
not
that's
leave the
like
house
some,
without a full tank of gas and $10 in my pocket, just in case.
Jeepers Creepers type stuff.
Girl, it was literally one of those towns where there was nothing but one of those a bunch of little houses, a dirt road. Like, I was so scared. I was like, God, it was the only thing, it was sun out. So, I went in the sundown town, even though honestly, like they say that, but I've been living in Alabama for a long time and I ain't never experienced that. But whatever. I'm sure it
You
exists.
ain't. I guess we probably just ain't been deep enough. Cause I'm. No, my roommate. She lived. I don't think it was sundown. I think it was any time of day, but
Oh,
especially at night.
God,
That
that makes me
double
I'm
Double Springs, Alabama, where they
oh, okay,
only
I
got
heard of that.
one traffic light.
Yeah, and just that go for anywhere. Just get where you going and get your ass to your destination. But yeah, hopefully, shout out to Glorilla. Hopefully, she wasn't drunk. If like, don't drink and drive. Like, even if you think that you can get home or whatever, just be safe because you never know
Yeah, because
or
you
whatever.
definitely make more than enough money to just leave your car where it is and
And she should have a driver at this point
driver.
if we being it for real. But this is time for the topic of the season, okay? Because I remember when Drake dropped his diss track and he told Metro to shut your ass up and go get some drums. I was like, oh
So
my god,
is that real? Because everybody kept saying it
yeah,
was
that's
AI.
real. No, there was a Kendrick one that was AI.
Okay.
The Drake one is legit. And then not only did he do that, he sent a mariachi band to the strip club that Metro was at and had them singing "Shut Your Ass Up, Metro," and make some drugs. Like that's the level of petty that I aspire to be. Like I aspire to be that petty. Between him, I don't know who's more petty now. Is it Chris Brown? Is it 50 Cent? Or is it Drake? Because the light skin niggas is up 10. I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. Like what y'all got going?
Well, 50
Like
Cent gonna always be top tier petty. Always.
also
Him
shout
and
out
Ja
to
Rule, he been going
bruh.
for forever at this
When
point.
he bought that front row seat, all those front rows to that man concert, so it could be empty when he came out, just chef's kiss. Because that showed you that it wasn't even about the money. He just wanted to be petty. But I will say that Chris Brown, like Quavo, get up,
He needs some milk.
Quavo. Because not only did he play that recording of you saying you don't want no smoke with him, he literally dropping all type of shit talking about I fucked your bitch when you was still with her. Like we saw you beat her up in the elevator. The when he said we wished it was you instead of Takeoff, I was like, Chris, you can't say that. You
Bro.
can't
And
say
the fact
that,
that he put in
Christopher.
after he said it, first of all, the fact that he after he said it, it said, "Oh shit," and he knew it still did kept. It kept going.
Bruh, because he could have just said, y'all, let's do another one. That was too far. He said no. I'm going for the juggler.
This is where we're taking it because
He
bro code,
said, Sweetie told me your business, but I ain't even gonna tell you what I know. And I'm like, what did she tell him?
bro.
Because you know that pillow talk hit different. So she was spilling all the tea. You know Christopher be taking it down on these bitches. He
Because it
said
looked,
she
I can say it looked like to me he might have been doing a little bit more than Quavo could.
and then maybe we gonna find out Quavo was on them at one of them parties. Cause
Mm.
I wanna know what it was. He said, you call me a crackhead. The only thing I'm smoking is you, nigga. What?
Your last album was a weed tray that we roll up on. I said,
I didn't even know
wow,
he had a solo album. I know he had the album with him and Takeoff, but did he have an album after that?
probably because you know they was trying to make Quavo like the, you know,
I
he had
was
all
there.
the features and stuff. At one
Mm.
point, everybody was getting Quavo on their song and
I
all
like
that.
Offset and
I was
Takeoff
say,
way more now.
I was gonna say before Offset then became a big thing. You could kind of tell they was trying to push Quavo out there to be like the.
Hmm. But honestly, like, if it ain't the Migos, I don't really want to hear y'all. Like, just go sit down somewhere.
I could deal with Offset,
But Takeoff was the best rap out of all of them, and it's just so unfortunate. We
bro.
need to
His
put.
stage performance, him just being nonchalant was the same. Him on stage, we went to. I forgot. Me and my we went to go see. I guess it was a Migos concert. I don't know what. I between my friends, y'all be having me doing a lot of stuff. But I think it was an Offset. I mean, not an Offset. It was a Migos thing. And bro, I was like, is Takeoff okay? Like, is he high? He wasn't moving. Like,
He like, look, can I get my check and get up on out of here?
bro, basically.
But Christopher Maurice went in.
And I'm gonna need people, and it's the newer people who haven't been around since. They don't remember Chris Brown. Like we know Chris Brown can rap. It's not a surprising
Girl,
thing,
remember what's the name of that the one when he's sitting in that seat, that mixtape when Chris Brown was coming out with mixtapes every week?
bro. His
Bruh,
mix
that
was.
that
I'm gonna need
mixtape era
Apple
was just
Music. I'm gonna need Apple Music to get their stuff together and put mixtapes on there because that
yeah, cause when Daft
K
Piff
Michelle mixtape was good. Lil
oh
Wayne's
my
mixtapes was
god.
good. Chris Brown
Bruh.
mixtapes was good. A lot of
J.
people had some really
Cole
good
back. Oh
mixtapes
my God. I just missed
in
the mixtape era.
the early 2010s. A lot of people had some really good mixtapes, and I'm not about to search on YouTube to try to find that. This is not
I'm just not. No,
2005. I'm not doing it.
I'm definitely not. I missed the mixtape era. It's just like so many songs is just gone because I'm not finna look at them on YouTube. I'm just not. But
Because first
my
of
little
all,
MP3 player used to have.
you gotta Google to even find out which mixtape it was if you don't know it off by heart. You gotta Google the mixtape. You gotta find the track list. Then you gotta go on YouTube and try to find the right song. That's not the like chopped and
And
screwed
y'all know y'all
version. Now at
petty
this
because
point,
people be. Oh my God. Exactly. It's just crazy. But I miss that era. And honestly, if I was Quavo though, I just wouldn't respond. You can't. You can't. You
there's
just
no
gotta
response.
let
We have to fight.
it. Yeah, yeah. So you just might as well either fight him or y'all just need to just let it go. And you know, social media they'll be on to something else next week. So just ignore it. If I was you,
Yeah,
Quavo,
just let
just
it go.
ignore it. But it's time. But it's time for my favorite part of the episode, your favorite part of the episode. It's the motherfucking Am I the Asshole? As always, it's a story me and Isis ain't never heard before. We reading it to you guys and getting our first impressions. Here we go. Am I the asshole for telling an elderly church lady to keep her dog, in parentheses, husband, on a leash? I, 50 female, used to work at a Mexican restaurant, and Sundays were the worst for service. I can attest to that. I'll
Yes.
never understand how you can go from worshiping Jesus to being rude and nasty at a restaurant. Anyway, one Sunday, an elderly couple in their 60s come in as I was standing with the manager. When the elderly woman comes up and told the manager that her server, 16 female, was being a whore and tempting her husband with her pants. It pissed me off because the kid was naive and still in high school. Very innocent and such a nice kid. Anyway, I took the table and this woman started talking shit about the girl to me. I calmly and simply said to her, learn how to cook or keep your dog on the leash, and that she's a kid and it looks like your dog is the one that needs his shots. She threatened to get me fired and I really had no fucks to give. So am I the asshole?
You want me to go first?
I gotta let it simmer for me, cause
So the first part of this, Sundays are the absolute worst day to work food service,
hmm
retail. Sundays is just a really bad day. I don't know what it is about holier than thou people when they come out after they come from church or before they go to church that they are absolutely horrible, but they are. Um, Secondly, why is it that girl fault? Because your husband is a pedophile.
mm, mm.
And did she say she was a white woman?
She didn't have to.
Well, this sounds like some caucus from the mountain of caucus behavior. The palm colored people, as some would say these days, behavior. Because black women don't play that. Black men don't. Black men really don't play that about when it come to kids, unless you just a creepy dude. But anyway, um, yeah, your old fart of a husband, you need to keep him at home with his pedophilic ways. This girl just trying to do her job. And as much as y'all talk about y'all want to build the wall, white people, y'all know y'all don't want foreigners in y'all country, in this country, but y'all love eating their food. Anytime I go to a Mexican restaurant, it ain't nothing but white people up in there. It be more white people than Mexicans. You go to the Indian place, white people. You go to the Chinese food buffet, white people. Y'all don't want these people in y'all country, but y'all love eating their food and appropriating their
Oh,
culture.
oh God! If y'all can see my face, I am in tears right now. I ain't never heard nothing so accurate in my life. And I'm gonna say, as a former server, We don't want your men. Okay? We don't want them.
They be ugly anyway.
Definitely, and bro, you be like, don't talk to my man, and your man tip $1. Girl, get the fuck on out of here. And this is we told y'all like on season 1 of the pod, don't mess with people who mess with your food. I'm not gonna say what kind of stuff I seen
They
as a
used to have
server.
shows that would show food service people, like people, what they would do behind the like counter and stuff.
Bruh, do you know how many times I didn't stop somebody from serving some food that fell on the floor? Like, it's some dirty people in the world. So please be nice to your servers.
Bro, because I do not complain unless I absolutely
Girl, you be
my
sitting there like, the food is wrong. You be like, it's
it's got
all
to be
right.
something completely just completely wrong. And even like you say, even then I'm just gonna be like, well, I guess they just wanted me to have this. I guess,
Yeah, as long as there ain't no pork on my plate.
bro. Because if it's
Like,
cold, you just be like, well, I guess I'll take it with me and warm it up at home.
and I'm just tired of women thinking that, first off, it's nothing that a woman can do to stop your husband from looking. Even if that girl was 20 or of age or whatever, if your husband wanted to look at her, he was going to look at her. So you need to either not come out to eat or tell your husband to be respectful of you. Like, at the end of the day, these girls are just trying to make their money or whatever, whatever. And if you know that your husband got a problem with keeping his wandering eye to himself, then that sounds like a PP to me. And by PP, I mean personal problem.
Bro, because I know my booty fat and I can't do nothing about that. It don't matter what I wear.
Right. Like, I literally had a manager tell me, like, you can't wear those shorts no more because it's accentuating your butt. Like, girl, no matter what I do, these hips is gonna hip every time. I can't help it. Even if you pull your shirt over your hips, if you got a big booty, it don't matter. They still gonna see it. And I'm tired of the community, the culture making it be the woman's problem because the man can't control himself. Like when you in high school and they say, "Oh, she got spaghetti straps," and the spaghetti straps are distracting the boys in the class. Teach the boys to not be distracted instead of teaching the girls that
Bro,
she gotta wear.
her shoulders are distracting.
Girl, I couldn't
Now,
stand having to put
now,
two fingers.
bro, I can see like low cut stuff. Okay, for school purposes, that's a little bit too much. Low cut, your booty out. This school, it ain't that deep. But just because it's a spaghetti strap is ridiculous.
Girl, I remember I think that's the reason why we used to wear the little. I think back on those ugly ass outfits where we had the t-shirt and then we had the spaghetti straps on top of the t-shirt.
Oh yeah, because you couldn't wear spaghetti straps in school.
And I'm like, what was we doing?
And
We could have just.
I will say, it's some girls that if you don't give rules and structure, there are some girls that took it to the extreme.
Yeah. But
But
let's be
most of the
real.
time, it's no, you can't
Let's
help
be
it,
real. Them same girls was gonna be fucking in underneath the staircase, no matter what.
bro. And then you know what make it so crazy about this story is, 16, she might have had a little body, but at 16, your body ain't that distracting with men just falling over themselves for you at 16. Like,
Yeah, dude was a fucking
he
creep,
was
and she
just
knew her
looking.
husband was a creep. And like to have beef with a 16-year-old girl is crazy to
And
me.
then
But
also for you to think that I'm gonna sit here and just let you talk crap about my coworker and a 16-year-old is crazy.
bro, people be crazy. They be like thinking that you just supposed to listen to what they saying. Like, girl.
Bro, I hate when black people come up to me and try to talk about other people, other races, and I just be looking at them like, uh-huh,
Like,
uh-huh. I be like, mm-hmm, yeah, mm-hmm.
girl,
Or I
I
just,
can't stand that. Like, if I don't know you, just please don't put your prejudice on me. Like, we joke a lot on the pod or whatever about our Caucasian brothers and sisters, but ain't no hate behind it. Y'all be like hating.
Especially living in Chicago where there is a melting pot of people. Like, you don't know who got who in a family. Like, bro, it's an Asian lady that was speaking Spanish to me one day.
Oh wow. Yeah, and that stuff used to happen to Ro a lot. Like people think that because he white that you and then we he not only he white, he like southern white, like fishing, hunting, Duck Dynasty. At one point he looked like one of the people from Duck Dynasty. Like the beard, all the hair, all that. And he's at work and the dude said like a racial slur about like black folks and Rhodes snapped and dude was like I didn't know like you don't know what these people got going on like Rhodes do not play about that stuff and like honestly don't feel comfortable saying that stuff like keep
I was
that
gonna
to
say the way
yourself.
that people still feel comfortable with saying that is crazy. And my thing is, if you want to be racist, that's fine. But it's plenty of people out here that's not, and you just can't be. It's the privilege for me with some people
Yeah,
thinking
you just
just being
assume.
comfortable with doing it.
Exactly, but I just feel like there's a thin line and you just got to be careful. But as always, if you guys have made it this far in the episode, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you are subscribed to the podcast. If you're not, make sure you're following us on YouTube. Everything is Misguided Misfits Pod on YouTube, Instagram, Tickety Talk. We're gonna try to post more things on our social media page, but girl, we be busy. But also make sure you're following us on at bedrockcosmetics.com on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of that jazz. I do have a pop-up shop coming up, so if you live in the southern Alabama area, be sure to follow us on social media and you'll get all of the info about the pop-up shop happening this weekend. But what you got, Icy?
You all can still follow me on Isis Pull Up a Loop. I need to get you to take some pictures for me of the hat I made you. And I got some hats that I'm making right now that I need to take pictures of once I'm done or whatever, so I could just at least have them posted up there. I'm not 100% sure yet if I want to sell, but I at least want to start getting the content out there. Cause my arms hurt, and I'm not about to be just making stuff for nobody to see. I be tired. Crocheting is hard on your hands, your back, and your shoulders. So Isis pulls up a loop.
But we love you guys. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys later.